Excellent. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to A Friend in the Darkness here at Thread Raiders, where it's our fun gaming haven weekend. Just a good time. I'm Watto Jeff. I'll be going to be your DM today, and I'm going to let everybody else kind of introduce themselves. We'll start with Bleg.
All right, I am Belegmoradin, at Belegmoradin on Twitch and Twitter. I go by Ryan. I will be playing Moose, the Dwarven Bard. Interesting combination.
Excellent. Mar.
Um, Hello, I am Mar. I am playing well, her name is Quina, and she's a wizard, tiefling. And yeah, I don't have any like stuff because I don't do Twitter or anything like that. But
That's fine.
yeah, that's me.
Good. Blick and Stilty.
Good morning. I am going to be playing Kira, a human fighter, and you can find me here on Discord at Blick and Stilty Games.
Jason.
Hey everybody, I am J-Man Weird. You can call me Jason. I'm going to be playing Branth and Stick. I am the DM and CEO of Take 20 Dungeons and Dragons.
Excellent. Okay, as a more of a cliche type stuff, today we're going to do the traditional "You're all in a tavern," and this is a wonderful place called Blackport. Blackport is a stinky, disgusting little town of pestilence and villainy, run by a more or less undertoned underworld, thieves guilds, evil abides in the city. It's basically a free city that's been overrun for years by the various bad things in the world. We're playing on my homebrew world today, called Dire Lands. So that'll be, if nobody's familiar with some of the places or things like that, you're fine. You've just come back from a little bit of a jaunt on the high seas. You're all more or less your sailor types, and you are a close-knit band of mercenaries. And you're out for hire, and you've just recently come back from a voyage from the south, and you're looking to blow off some steam in our nasty Seagull and Skull Tavern tonight. It's pretty late in the evening. We'll say roughly about 9-10ish at night. The grog is flowing quite nicely. If anybody wants to know, you each have 30 gold pieces in your pockets as kind of a little additive, because I think everybody could use a little gold in their life. So we're going to give that free off the bat. Everybody, also to start off with, each one of your characters, please give yourself each a point of inspiration. And I like to give that stuff off right away because everybody knows how handy that stuff can come.
Cool.
You're all sitting in a tavern. It's dark. It's kind of a dreary place. The smell of kind of rotten decay kind of erupts it. You're right on the wharf. It's a busy night there, filled with locals and other sailors that are off ships and trying to unload. It's kind of a mix of races, mostly human. There are, a few elves or half elves there. A few grubby looking dwarves are hanging around. They seem to keep to themselves mostly. Many a half orc as well too, off to the corner. They're all more or less look like they've had a life of not so much luxury, but of more or less hardship. Pints are an easy copper here. And you've been here quite often, and the barkeep knows you quite well. The night's kind of progressing a little bit, and you see, actually, you know what? Everybody give me a perception check. let's start off rolling some dice.
Oh, nice. That is a wisdom base.
I got a 10, JT.
A dirty 20.
Nice.
I've got an 11.
The 11. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
You said, what am I rolling again?
Just a perception check. Just throw a d20 down on the table.
It's 19.
19.
Mhm. Yep.
We got everybody? Okay. For Kunea and Moose, as you're kind of looking to order some more drinks, you see a dark female figure standing at the bar talking to your favorite bartender, Tom. And Tom kind of like, you see him pointing towards your table. And this dark figure comes over and she approaches the table kind of nonchalantly. Her movements are characteristic of almost floating across the floor. She walks up and she says, "Might I buy you a drink?"
Free drinks are always welcome around here.
Excellent. And she motions to Tom over at the bar to kind of like send another round. And she says, "May I join you here?"
Now look at
Pretty
everybody
ladies
else
are
at the
always-
table.
Suit yourself, lass.
My name is Esmeralda.
Esmeralda. And what brings you to our table?
Greetings. And Tom brings over the drinks and he looks at you and he says, "Is everything okay?"
I don't know. I've got strange ladies walking up to the table whom I don't know. And Tom, you know how it is. I don't like it when strange people walk up to me. You know better. We've known each other for a very long time, lad.
Well,
So who is this?
look, I am looking to hire some people. You came recommended.
Oh, like who?
I'd like to know that as well.
Well, you
Whose
see,
mouth is freely speaking our names.
well, I understand that you work for gold. Gold I have. So let me tell you a story. Maybe entice you a little bit. She is a very pale woman. She has almost like a dark black hair with almost like a tinge of red to it. She's got, her clothing is more or less finery. She really doesn't belong in a place like this. She sits down and she joins you, and Tom asks her if she'd like something to drink, and she just kind of waves him off and says, "No, just some drinks for my new friends here." So I have a problem. It appears that I need some people to go do a job for me. I have a ship that is due into port. Only momentarily. I'd say within the next 2 to 3 hours. He says, what I need for you to do is put yourself on that boat before it docks. And then I'm going to need you to do a little something for me. There is a small copper chest. I need you to bring me that chest. Do you think you can do this for me?
What's in it?
Oh, I assure you, you do not know what's in it. It is not for you. It is very bad.
Well, I don't like to pick up things I don't know what they are. They might hurt me.
Put it this
Yeah.
way. The thing that is in the chest can do far more harm to you than what might befall the city should you let it arrive.
What do you think, Moose? Guanana? What do you think?
Hmm. I don't know. It
Yeah.
seems kind of dangerous. What type of pay are we talking about?
What type of gold? Yeah.
Well, let me see here. In order to pay you, I have much gold. Of course, it's hard to carry that much gold, so I just bring it in gems. And she pulls out a handful of rubies. They look to be, a good size rubies. She says, I pay you in this tonight. You bring me back the copper chest. Undisturbed would be a
JT,
good thing.
can I do a check being a thief, having taken lots of rubies in my day? Can I do a check to see what they want here?
Jason, could you repeat yourself?
Could I do a check to see what those rubies might be worth?
Oh, absolutely. Roll me a d20. I'll tell you what they're all worth.
That's 15 plus, I'm going to assume it's intelligence. 17?
A 17?
Yeah.
Yep. There looks like there's about probably 25 to 30 rubies in there, and each one of them is probably worth about 50 gold pieces each.
Oh, wow.
I look
That's a
at the
lot
rest
of
of
money.
them. I look at the rest of the party and like, they're not inexpensive.
You're breaking up a little bit, Jay.
How about now?
Oh, there we go. Oh, you had your
Better?
mic tucked under your hoodie.
Yeah,
A little bit.
that's what I was.
So anyway, I turn to the rest of the party and I say, they're not inexpensive. She's offering us enough.
Well, my lady, I'm assuming you want this without any, how should I say, official entanglements?
It depends on what you call official in this city. Let me tell you, I'm a prominent figure here, whether you know it or not.
Oh, I know
I've
it.
lived here for quite a while. I do not want to see what might befall this city and myself should that boat be able to dock by itself.
JT, having lived here in Blackport for many years, do I know who this lady is?
Funny, you've never seen her before.
Can I roll a perception check of some kind to see if there's any like markings, like a family symbol? Maybe we recognize a family or anything like that?
Absolutely.
That would be a 17.
You do notice that she has a nice little crested pin, more or less on kind of tucked under her robes on a red velvet sort of dress that she's wearing. And it's kind of a little pin, and it's two bats that kind of like its wings are crossed.
Would I know this symbol?
Yeah, you could probably give me a history check because you've been around quite a bit, haven't you?
Okay. History will be 20.
Wow.
Nice.
It is a ancient family from pretty much noble that hasn't been heard from in such a long time, called the Von Stella. And the Von Stella family disappeared centuries ago. but you seem to have read it in one of your little history books at, your parents' house when you were being bordered and tutored about the nobility of the world.
Mhm.
How about street lore of the Bonstellas?
No street lore at all.
Okay.
Just highly weird.
So,
Hmm.
milady,
It's interesting.
why don't you give us a good 10, 15 minutes? Go get yourself something at the bar while we discuss this. We don't make decisions on the fly like this, especially one of such importance.
Absolutely. If this is a problem, I'm sure I could find somebody else too. But you came recommended
Fair
There's a
enough,
reason
lass.
for that.
by Captain Tellus.
Captain, tell us. Do we recognize that name?
Yeah, Captain Tellus is one of the captains you've served on many, 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 many times.
Okay.
And Captain Tellus is more of a non-legitimate business person. He has a legitimate business, but he does smuggle quite a bit.
Well,
She says,
give us
"I'll
give
you
us a
few
moment.
minutes. I will give you a few
Excellent.
minutes."
Excellent.
And she gets up and she walks away. And as she kind of walks away, her hand sort of brushes up against Quinea's horn kind of thing too. And she says, I've never had tiefling before. I'm sure your blood boils with the heat of the sun. And then she walks away.
This one,
Stay
I
tuned.
don't know if I'm not gonna lie. I don't think she's alive.
That
Lads
is
and
a lot of
lasses,
money.
It's a lot of money, and they're worth about 50 gold apiece. So, I would say if it's just a pick up and drop off, I think we can take care of it.
I tend to
Quinea,
agree.
Quinea, when she touched your horn, did you feel any warmth from her hand at all?
Did I?
No. Matter of
No,
fact, because it felt cold. You almost got a little bit of a shiver that went right down the back of your spine.
Mm. No, it was quite
So point to the goblin and
cold.
tell me where the bad person touched you.
Oh, wow. A little early for that, but okay.
Yeah, it's like
That's awesome. Okay,
Huh.
so what do you say, lads and lasses? Do you think we can do it?
Well, of course we
Kira,
can do it
Quinea?
because we're
yeah,
amazing.
we can do it.
But
It's a matter of I don't know. Seems a little odd.
She is odd. She's dead.
I feel
How
that.
much did she say she'd pay us at the end
She's-
again?
Oh,
the-
she
Oh.
has a handful of rubies in her hand, and they're worth about 50 gold pieces each. And there's about
Right. So
20 to 25 to 30 of them in her hand. Nobody ever actually got an accurate count.
yeah, but didn't she say she would give us more when we finished it?
Nope, she just offered
Oh.
the handful of rubies. Yeah.
Well, we can always ask her for more. We'll tell her that this is good for upfront, and we'll expect another payment like this when we're finished.
Or we could wait till after we've done the job and not give it to her. You know, people tend to be more reasonable once we have what they want.
But Moose, you know, undead people aren't people. They're dead.
Nobody
And
ever
they
said
don't.
she was dead.
So, and I don't think this one's alive. It's just something tickle in the back of my brain. She doesn't strike me as somebody who's actually here with us. She
I don't
walks in
think
a
we can
different
afford.
realm.
I don't think we can afford to turn her down.
No, we need the character. Even though it's not good pay in our pockets now, but I think we ought to do the job. I think we can do it. It's a pick up and drop off.
Too easy.
It's interesting to see where this is going to go. 'Cause
Quinay, you've got to be interested in doing this.
I'm very. She seemed to be interested in me, which is
How about you, Kira?
interesting.
Well, she wants us to get onto a boat before it docks to steal a chest that we can't look at. For
I
somebody
know.
who
It's
isn't
nothing
even
but trouble.
alive.
I mean,
No good is going to come from this side. Let's do
yeah,
it.
obviously.
Since when have we been worried about doing good, though?
Not
I'm
me.
I'm not worried.
Go for
I'm
it.
not worried about the job at all. I mean, it might be
All right.
hard, but it's fun. So.
And I suggest we get this game going because the more we discuss, the closer that boat gets to the dock.
Let's do it.
All right.
Who wants to tell the nice lady? Moose,
What?
you tell the nice lady we'll do a job.
I'll kind of like motion her over.
Without even really looking at you, she turns around and she glides back to the table.
Right.
Glides back to the table.
I figured as much. I figured she didn't have to look at me.
She takes her seat, she sits down, and she says, "So we've reached a decision then?"
We have. We'll do it. Simple job.
Most
I have a few questions, however, just real quick.
Oh,
Number one.
of course, my little dwarvish friend. Ask your question.
Number one. Is there a promise of payment upon delivery?
Well, I offered you a handful of rubies.
I assume that was the
They're a lovely shape.
upfront payment.
Don't you like them? And she shows them to you again. And at this point in time, I'm going to need you, Moose, to make me a wisdom saving throw.
I knew that was going to happen.
I know it's got.
Yeah, it was coming, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
foreshadowing.
a 7.
A 7.
That's a 7.
I'd like to kick him under the table.
No, that's Moose. You think that this is the best deal ever, and you really want to take this deal. You think it's great.
Of course, milady. Anything you need.
Can
For
I kick
you,
him
for
under the
your
table?
family. Ow! What was that for? Definitely anything you need.
Yeah. And of course, she says, "I knew you would see things my way." And she kind of takes her hand and she kind of rubs it through, like, your beard and up to your head. And she says, "You are a handsome one and brave too. You don't understand what kind of service you are doing for the city just by doing this.
It's
There is
more
a
about doing
darker-
the service for
There is-
you,
There's a
milady.
much darker place that this city could fall should this stuff arrive. This boat must never get here. That
Okay,
must
my
never
lady,
docks.
how are we expected to get to the boat?
Well, I assume that you are quite resourceful and you will find a way to get to the boat.
And where is the boat coming from? From the south or the north? Or
Just
how
Mike
would it-
J.
there?
Yeah.
Where is the boat coming from? The north, south, or east?
You will notice it. It has a nice, beautiful red flag on it. It has
It's
a
like
symbol very similar to a black sun with a bat on it. You can't miss it. The name on
And
the
then-
boat, is
Yes.
called the Black Wind.
And how will we know the box? All you said was a copper box. About what size? Like, we need to do some planning if we're gonna get this box off.
The box
Black
is big
Wind.
enough to hold a heart.
Okay. Anything for you, my lady.
I
Yeah,
appreciate.
you'd say that. You keep saying that, Moose. Wake up.
Yeah, Moose, you're pretty much infatuated with her. You'll do anything she says. If she said dance on the table, you're gonna dance on the table.
That's what I figured.
Very well then. I guess we'll need to go and get ourselves a boat,
You know,
won't we?
Mhm.
I assume that my sources tell me it is only a couple hours away and should be arriving at the stroke of midnight here in the port.
Well, then we don't have any more time to waste, my lady, do we? Then we shall take our leave.
Time is a relevant thing, isn't it? Now for some, and for others, time not so much.
Very well. I will take our payment.
Well, perhaps I pay you once you return. No point
Perhaps
in me
you-
giving you a bunch of gems, and these
Okay.
rubies are very precious. And you take
Well,
I'm gonna need one of those rubies to get us a ship.
we're going to need them. So we'll take half now and half
you're
when
going
we're
to
finished.
buy a whole ship. I don't think all these rubies will buy you a boat. Maybe it'll buy you
No,
a
but-
small boat, but I see your point. Obviously, she gives you one of the rubies, and she says, perhaps this might suffice to get you into the water.
More than enough, my lady.
Are,
Of course, my little dwarvish friend.
is there anything I can do to wake him up?
I don't know. Is there?
I'd like to smack him in the back of his head.
Please.
All right.
I get
I'm
try
gonna
and
suggest that you roll to hit. Should really get my dice down here too.
That's a 22.
that hits my AC of 11.
Wake up, lad.
oh, oh, what happened?
Now, my lady,
No,
I believe if you pay
Okay,
us half
you're
now
getting-
and half later, that'll be quite sufficient.
Mhm.
Moose, you kind of shake out of it a little bit. You're like, what's going on in my head kind of thing.
oh,
And yeah, and you've taken a little bit of bludgeoning damage to the back of the head. We're going to call it 0.25 of a hit point. That's right. That's how I whittle
Okay.
everybody down slowly. Decimal points.
That's funny.
So you kind of come to and you're like, you know, like what's kind of going on? You're a little bit fuzzy in your head. And she kind of looks at you and she kind of just smiles. Esmeralda smiles at you and says, I wish you luck. I hope you'll return. And she looks at you, Kira, as well. And she kind of really kind of eyeballs you a little bit and says, you're a crafty one, aren't you?
Maybe. Maybe I might know some people who can do some things
Who can do some things.
with
Good.
some stuff.
Well, I shall take you on my leave. And
Do we
don't
meet?
worry, when you return, I will find you.
Okay, that's what I was about to ask.
All right.
You'll find Kira. Is that what you said, lass?
I will find all of you, I'm sure.
Very well. We'll be here.
Beware the darkness. for it holds many secrets you may not be appreciative of.
Well, I do my best work in the dark class.
I'm sure you do, my little young man, so brave and foolish.
Well, I'm doing a job for you. I must be a fool.
Well,
Hmm.
Anyway, come on, lads and lasses, let's go.
Let's go find our way onto a ship.
She takes
I
her
know a
leave
ship.
and basically walks out the door, probably about maybe 10 seconds before you. And as you walk out, there's no sign of her on the street on the wharf.
mm-mm.
Of
You
course,
see
of
a
course she's.
couple of thug type individuals who are harassing one of the ladies of the night that are quite common on the dock ward.
Oh, that's Brent and Dave. Leave them be. They're fine.
They'll sober up and regret it.
Well, yeah, that last they're roughing up over there, she's gonna beat the living daylights out of them.
Oh, Shelley has rolled a many of them.
They don't know. Yeah, they don't know who they're dealing with.
As you walk up, you can see about, right in front of you, there's, almost like a large dock, and there's 5 or 6 different piers that come off of them, and there's about 7 or 6 different ships, including the one that you came in on. Alice actually captains. There's,
Now-
of course, some smaller areas. There's some dinghies that are down below. And one of the things that you really do notice too is that this is a particularly foggy night. And there is a really, really thick fog that kind of flows across the water, making it probably really difficult to see anywhere, past 60 feet for sure.
Is there any small skiffs?
Oh,
Like-
yes. There's, quite a few of them. And there are some boats that are anchored out in the harbor as well.
Anything that we could, as a group, acquire and use based on our. I'm assuming we have some sailing skills because
Oh.
we work on a boat.
Yep, you each have your
Oh,
own
yeah.
little set of sailing skills. That is so.
So since Captain Talus sent her our way, I suggest we borrow from Captain Talus.
Why don't we?
Good plan.
Is this a borrow?
Yes, definitely a borrow.
Yes, we'll borrow. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's borrow Captain Talus's boat.
So I got a question. The harbor itself, is there like an area, like is it a very narrow entrance into the docking area, or so we could probably like, is there a place we can like wait till we see the ship and then kind of like a funnel area that we know that all the ships are going to go through, so we know we can spot it?
Yes, there is. There is kind of like a funnel area that's about, I'm going to say about 400 feet across, that you can definitely see if anything's coming into the harbor. And the harbor kind of makes it's like a big semicircle that kind of like closes up a little bit. It's a natural harbor. It's probably one of the best harbors on the west side of the coast in general, especially for areas that like here that actually are prone to getting storms and high winds and stuff like that. It's a natural place for a harbor. And the harbor is kind of right down below as the city kind of climbs up a few steps up into the mountain passes in the market area, which is midway up the city. But yeah, definitely if you were to take anything out there or even look, you'd be able to see anything approaching. Even through the thick fog, you'd be able to see the mast of a ship.
Awesome. Unless anybody has any better ideas, I say we steal a ship. When we see it approaching, we can try and get to the ship as quickly as possible. Real quick, because I didn't do this and I probably should have. Since we've all traveled together before and worked together before, what's everybody's specialty? Like,
I'm in
what are you good at?
acquisitions. I'm in acquisitions.
Yeah, I figured that one out.
Kira, what are you good at?
Here,
I'm a smuggler, so I can get stuff in and out without anybody knowing.
And well, Quinn, we know what you can do.
I
Don't
say
we?
I like magic.
Yes, we know. You're good at it too. We're glad you're here, lass. All
Yeah,
right.
I
gonna
want to
need
make
you.
her mad because she'll retaliate with fire.
Okay. Anybody have any better ideas?
Not really. And let's face it, this is a role-playing world, and we're not supposed to have any better idea. Let's take a ship.
I'm gonna stand on the dock and I'm just gonna pull out my scimitars and kind of spin them around in my hands. Say it's been a long time since I've had me a fight. Let's do this.
I don't think we'll need to fight, but let's go take a
That
ship.
we could always fight.
We'll bring
It's
it
always
back. We promise.
All right. You can look right down the entire wharf, and there are at least 3 or 4 different little skiffs that are around. There's also a couple rowboats that would fit all of you as well, that are just kind of looking unattended.
Is there anything,
there
that looks unattended, that looks quick? Something that we don't have to row.
Well, the best
Preferably.
thing in this wonderful little harbor is gonna have to be rowed.
Are there
Okay.
any
Let's
guards or anything like that keeping an eye on the?
Oh, absolutely. It looks, you can even see through the fog that on each there is a couple of what looks like they could be guards kind of patrolling. They have a little hooded lantern. They're walking around mostly in pairs, about 2 sets of them. Grubby dock-like soldier types. Clubs,
So
leather armor, they
Look,
could be
look,
Grant,
thugs or guards. You're not sure.
look, there's one. Let's get it. Come on.
It's hard to tell the difference in this city.
so do we want to run a distraction for the guards?
I can
Or,
do
well,
that. Is there a chance that I know who these guards are?
Quite
Being
possible.
that I'm a native of the city?
Absolutely.
I can always
listen,
start a fire somewhere. I mean, that's easy.
I know. Quinn, just hold that thought. We're going to need you to do that. But not yet. There's a good one there, and I'll point at one of the skiffs there in the harbor. You guys go get that one. I'll keep the guards occupied.
all right.
You can easily, go down the few little stairs to one of the lower docks and easily basically untie one of these little skiffs, or almost like rowboats. There's no wind, so whatever you're going to do to get out into the harbor, you're going to have to row.
Okay. I'll let the gang go down to the boat, and I will disappear into the fog, and I will get the guards' attention in my direction so they can get there,
Oof.
if I may.
That's okay, because the guards didn't notice your friends slipping down into the docks towards the boat.
Okay.
You're approaching them?
Yep.
All right. They kind of.
I'm gonna go ahead and start untying the boat. I'm assuming we made a plan to meet you just like around the corner.
No,
just
no, you
outside
didn't make a plan.
No, there's no plan
Didn't
yet.
do it. Didn't do it.
I want to
Alright.
get the guards' attention away from the docks.
Okay, and you approach the guards, and they're kind of eyeing you up. Their clubs are in their hand. They're kind of beating their hand, and says, "Oh, what do we have here?"
Oh, Bill, Ted, how are you, lads? It's good to see you.
Bill, Ted, my name's
Oh.
Quack. This is Merv.
Crack and Merv. Where's Bill and Ted?
At
They're
the
usually
Circle
out
K.
here.
They're at the Circle K because something's amiss there.
Usually, right? They're usually hanging out in something. I don't know.
Wow, and they're looking at you. So you come here to pay a port tax? Is that what you're here for? Have you paid your port tax, lad? Huh?
What would that be?
I don't know. He's looking you up and down, and you're a little bit maybe a couple of silver pieces for each of us to buy some drinks after. What do you say?
I'll flip them a gold.
Do
and
you?
I'll say, yeah, I'll flip them a gold and I'll say, I was never here. Have a good
Oh.
evening, gentlemen.
Oh, and he looks quag. He's got a gold. You think he has any more?
You
And
don't want to
Merv
do
kinda
that.
eyes him up and says, "I think you might have some more."
I'll just turn to them and I'll just turn to them and say, you don't want to do that, lads.
I think we do. I think that you should cough
Because
up
I
another
think
couple of these
I think the guild will have something to say about it.
I think that we are the guild, and I think that we do have something to say.
I'm
about
the
it.
guild. I
And
am the
think
guild
that you
too.
should cop up another couple of shinies.
And I will bolt.
And well, actually, and Merv kind of says, "Would those be your friends down there?" And you
Now,
bolt.
yeah, I bolt.
All right. They are going to give chase.
All right. They're giving
So-
chase.
I'm going to
My-
let you get the head start. You've got about
All right.
10 feet. They're not in the best of shape.
I will use my extra because I move at 30, and I will just use my cunning action dash to move an extra 30 to get into some sort of cover where they can't see me, up an alley, so I can double back to the boat.
They move at 28, and they're going to use their extra action to move another 28. So they're about
Okay.
4 feet behind you, and they're chugging, and they're chugging. And one of them
Okay.
pulls out a whistle and starts to blow on the whistle.
Oh,
Do we see any of this?
You see, you hear a whistle blowing, and you see the youngest member of your stick running across the dock, being chased by two rather out of shape constables with clubs.
Oh, he's done it again. Ah.
fireball!
I know I was about to I was actually about to say, how far away are they from me?
I would say they're a good 80 feet easily.
Okay, I
They
want to
can skate
fireball.
by.
I
They're
want
gonna
to.
firebolt.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I like this. All right. The city constable.
Nothing like sneaking off with somebody else's stuff.
Okay. You can roll to hit.
Okay.
Cornea.
So the you said they're about 80 feet away?
Yep.
Then the one she firebolts, I'm gonna walk up, and the other one I'm gonna cast vicious mockery on.
Well, let's get the firebolt off.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, 'cause I don't even know if I'm gonna hit.
This is you guys get the surprise round here. So why don't you roll to hit, Quinea, with your firebolt? You've got one kind of on the left and one on the right. Which one would you like to go after?
the one that's closest to me. Like, it's like this. So
Yeah.
probably this one right here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I don't know if I hit. It's at 14.
Oh yeah, you definitely hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Damage. The 1d10.
Yeah. It is a 7 damage.
You hear Stick, you can hear the crackle of fire zip through the air.
Nice.
And I
a
giggle.
shout out of pain
Oh, piece.
as one of the we'll just in quotes call them constables kind of screams out in pain, "What sorcery is this? Ah!" And you can see kind of part of his hair is singed on fire, and there's sparks that fly everywhere as this thing kind of just clips the side of his shoulder and catches his hair on fire. Moose, you wanted to do something too?
Yeah, I'm gonna move up within range, which is gonna take 20 feet, and then I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery on the one that
didn't just get smoked.
Right, and I'm just gonna be yelling, you should be losing weight over there.
Well, that's harsh.
That's really some shit.
So he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Doing it. Ooh, what's your DC on that character?
My DC is not very good, 12.
Oh, that's okay. I got an 11. I was just kind of making sure.
Okay.
Ooh.
So he takes
You have heard his last feeling.
he takes 3 points of psychic damage, and
Yep.
he has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes
Perfect.
before the end of its next turn. So-
And he's kind of
JT.
angry, and he looks discombobulated, and there might be a small tear running down the side of his face as well.
Can I add insult to injury?
Sure.
Can I drop some ball bearings for them to
Absolutely.
run off over? I'll
Oh, no,
I'll
they've
drop.
stopped running. They've stopped running and have
Okay,
turned
forget it.
to your
If they've-
crew that you left behind.
Okay, so they've stopped running.
Yep. And at this point in time, I'm going to pull up and ask everybody to kind of go into initiative because that's where we're at now. Man, you guys didn't even get to the ship.
I mean, if they would have just let me cause a fire, we would have had no problems.
I was kind of liking the
Still
fire
have
idea.
somewhere to land.
I like the fire idea too, but
I'm going to roll for our dockside thugs. Oh, okay. This is all going in your favor. All right, Moose. Initiative 8. Quinea.
6.
Okay, this is a super cool. Stick.
12.
Kira.
11.
Stick. You're up.
Yeah, I gotta draw my rapier and do these guys in. So I will start the dance of death with them, and I will go in and attack the guy on the guy who looks more hurt. The guy on the left or right?
That would be the one who doesn't have the hurt feelings because he's been mocked. That would
Okay.
be the one that actually is
Took fire.
smoking.
Okay, that would be a 20. That's a placid 20.
That hits. You gotta adjust your mic again. It keeps crackling up on us here a little bit.
Okay,
I know. It's like keeps going. So how much? That's definitely a hit. You definitely poke him with your rapier.
Okay. Just let me get my damage here going for you. That is 8 points of damage.
And he's like, oh, and you kind of stick him a little bit too, and it kind of pokes through his leather armor and finds a little chink in there. And he's now the end of your blade has got some of his wonderful blood on it.
Excellent. And I'm going to take
Next
my
up.
bonus action
Yes.
to disengage.
Okay. You disengage.
Are you running towards us?
Yes. I'm moving towards them. So I'm dancing through these guys heading towards the boat.
Oh my goodness.
Someone get the boat ready. We're gonna have to move quick.
We're rowing. We're not going anywhere quick.
Quinn, more fire, more fire. I'm yelling as I run towards the boat.
I'm getting a very Jack Sparrow vibe from you right now.
Well, we'll see how well that holds up.
Moose, make him feel bad again.
That I can do.
Kira, you're up. What are you doing? You still have some of this boat is still tied to the dock. You've noticed that Quinea has decided that fire is the way to solve all her problems. Moose has yelled
Always.
out some sort of nasty things to one of them, and you can now see Stick, the young lad who's poked one with his rapier and kind of deked in between the two and is now hightailing it towards you guys. And he's got a good 80 feet to run right now, so it's going to take him a while to get there. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna just kind of look around, laugh a little bit to myself, and say, "Ah, just like the good old days." And I'm just gonna start sawing on the rope.
You're just going to start sawing on the rope. Who cares about untying it?
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, speeds of the essence," kind of thing, and just start cutting at the rope rather than trying to untie it.
Okay, you'll easily be able to cut through the rope quite simply on this one round. So you're going to be all done and ready to go.
So I'll whistle and I'll be like, "Anytime, boys."
All right. Moose. Unless
All
there's
right,
something else you'd like
so-
to do, Kira.
No, right now I'm just gonna hold on to it. I figure somebody's got to pilot this bad boy while everybody else is fighting and running.
All right.
So I'm gonna say, "Hey, Stick."
What,
And then
laddie?
and then I'm gonna go, "I don't know what to use on these guys more, charm person or hold monster." And I'm gonna cast.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're not monsters, they're humans.
I'm gonna cast vicious mockery on them again. On the one that took fire this time.
Oh, you're going to on the one that took the fire damage? All right. Consolidating actions. All right.
So he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm on it. The dice.
Go ahead, roll a 1.
He brushes off your mockery. And he kind of shakes his head. And now he's got a club and he's kind of running right towards actually he's chasing Stick, but they're all heading in your direction anyway, so everything's coming your way. Would you like
And then
to
I'm
say
gonna
anything else?
I'm gonna move back towards the boat and be standing in the boat, like looking at them, ready to move at any time.
Ready to go? Are you actually getting onto the boat or
I'll probably be
on the
right next to
boat.
the boat.
Get on the boat, you short-legged little... Get on!
Hey, leave the mockery to me.
And whose turn is it?
It is going to be Quinea's turn.
Quinea, more fire!
Of course. I mean, I'm going to firebolt.
You just
Um,
listened to me in the first place, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to firebolt the one that I already firebolted.
Okay.
13 to hit.
That does hit.
4 damage.
4 damage. Another bolt of fire comes flying out of the night, and of course strikes him basically right in the kneecap, and kind of you see his his leggings kind of catch on fire, and he's trying to pat it out with his hand. And he used to be a constable thug until he took a firebolt to the knee, and he's kind of angry right now, and he's kind of like he's kind of trying to push his friend back. He says, "This isn't worth it. This isn't worth it." And he's blowing on his whistle, or his friend's blowing on his whistle, and you see another person kind of appear onto the docks, wearing kind of the same kind of, dark brown, leathery, club wielding fools, and he's also blowing on a whistle.
Oh.
So you hear lots of whistles, and the two are kind of discouraged about chasing you right now, Stick. As a matter of fact, they're looking for some sort of cover. And there is a new gentleman who's appeared out of one of the alleyways, who's kind of looking at what's going on. Of course, he's looking directly towards the boat, because that's where he saw the fire come from. Would you like to do anything else on your turn, Kanea?
No, I'm gonna get on the boat.
You're gonna
Like,
get
if
on
I'm
the
not
boat.
already on it, I'm gonna get on it.
All right.
And
Stick,
I'm running to the boat.
they've stopped chasing you,
Good.
and in
I'm heading for the
between
boat.
you and the boat is another, quote, constable who's come out of the alley, but he doesn't. One second, actually, let's see. Oh yeah, he definitely sees you. That's my first nat 20 of the day. Everybody see that nat 20? Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do that dice next time I see it
Oof.
in person?
Keep it friendly.
You know I have a 4-pound
Keep it
hammer.
friendly.
I know you do. The first time you threaten my dice, it's not going to be the last. All right. What would you like to do?
I'm going to throw my ball bearings at his feet, and
Okay.
I'm going to go right
Why don't you
past
give me a little D20 action there on your dice?
You betcha. That is a 14. Do you want my dex modifier as well?
Absolutely.
18 total.
Okay, you throw a bunch of ball bearings, and some of them actually get to his feet. Some of them slip through the planks, and you can hear them plopping in the water. But there are some on the ground. Maybe you didn't get the best coverage that you wanted on the wooden dock with your ball bearings, but it looks like you've got something there. And you're still running towards the boat, which is now, it looks like everybody's trying to get on to the boat.
All right. And I want to get onto the boat too.
Okay. You'll be able to get there next round.
Sounds good.
Kira, you're up.
All right, so I'm looking around. How many people do I have in my boat?
Well, you've got, including yourself, 3 that you know of.
All right, so I'm gonna look at Stick, and I'm gonna be like, "Run faster!" And I'm gonna pull out my crossbow and shoot at the other dude.
You're gonna shoot it at the guy that's in between Stick and you guys?
Yep.
All right. Roll to hit, crossbow girl.
That's a 23 to hit.
Oh, I think I'm gonna give it to you.
Thanks, man. with 8 points of piercing.
Oh, wow.
You hear him say, "Ow, ow."
Not
That hurt.
cool.
Crossbow butt. You got him right in the butt.
Nice.
Ow.
Nice.
That didn't.
I was
that
aiming
wasn't
for his head.
nice.
but
Feel
yeah.
good.
That's what you get for showing up at a fight you're not supposed to be at.
Get in a boat, dude. Just get in the boat.
I'm coming.
Would you like to do anything else, Kira?
Other than laugh and be like, shot him in the butt.
Always running his mouth.
All right, Moose.
The guy who's in between us, I am going to say, "Hey, you got something on your face." Oh, wait, never mind. That's just her face. And cast vicious mockery on him.
Oh my God.
You know, there's nothing more satisfying than a dwarf who just wants to hurt everybody's feelings.
That's you know what?
that is a
That's the
a
truth.
big fat 3 on my saving throw.
All right.
Yes.
He takes 2 points of psychic damage, and he has disadvantage on his next attack.
And his feelings are hurt.
His feelings are hurt.
Yeah, he feels slapped on his face.
Hey, Nelson.
Cornea.
I am going to keep on throwing fire at him
Yes, more fire. More fire.
because that is fun.
I'm gonna
14 to hit.
Oh, that definitely hits. Are you shooting at the one that's in between Stick and you guys?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
I'm gonna turn to Kira and go, "I am so glad we picked her up."
5 points
5
of damage.
points?
hmm
Okay. You kind of got him like almost square in the chest. Luckily for him, some of his leather armor absorbed some of that damage, but he's got a face full of sparks now, which is probably going to leave some scars, which makes the mockery that Moose just gave him hurt even more. So we'll give him an extra point of mockery damage because now he feels even worse about himself.
I'm just gonna kind of
And he just
go away.
in his tracks, and he's kind of looking at you guys, and he's trying to think that maybe he should duck back into the alley, so he's taking a few steps back, but he's keeping one eye on Stick. The other two night watchmen or constables, they have ceased any sort of pursuit, and they are sulking back into kind of like the darkness and the fog a little bit, so they are not as much hidden. And the other guy is just the newcomer who's got his whistle, and he's kind of going back, but he's blowing really hard on his whistle. As a matter of fact, he's blowing so hard it's not even really making a whistle sound anymore. It's kind of like a because he's
kind of
freaking,
sobbing in between it.
yeah. It sounds like his whistle is crying too. So that's their move. They're not doing anything. All of them are backing off. Stick,
Double dash.
you are about a good 20 feet away from the boat.
Okay, I will run to the boat. Do I have to run past this guy?
No, he's kind of backing off and giving you a little bit of a clear berth.
Okay, I will run by him and onto the boat. And as I go by, now listen, we were never here and you never saw us. Or I'm coming back to visit with ye.
And he's still trying to blow on his whistle. He's still kind of.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's just.
Can I throw a dagger at him as I go by, right at his face, right where his hand or his whistle?
Yeah, sure. You could definitely throw a dagger and still make it to the boat if that's what you really want to do.
That's what I really, really want to do. That is a 19.
That's gonna hit.
Oh, sorry, rolled the wrong one. That is 7 points of damage. 3 plus 4. Right in his hand. Make him drop the whistle.
Blackport City Watch. Under siege. Feelings hurt all around.
Oh, wait till you hear.
You definitely stick that into his gut a little bit. So your dagger kind of plunges into his gut. You can take dagger off your character sheet now. And
That's all
and
right.
he's trying to hold his belly in and try to, keep the dagger from causing any more. And he's still desperately trying to blow on his whistle to call attention. And he's absolutely failing at the whole blowing of the whistle thing. And you reach the skiff down below.
Jump in.
And now you're all there. And I am assuming that
Let's go.
I'm going to take you out of initiative right now. We'll just cancel that whole initiative thing. You've had your fun.
Mhm.
Back to business.
As he jumps on the rowboat, I pull out my dagger. Lost yours again, didn't you?
I've got one left. Got one left. But here, I'll take that. Thanks.
Yeah. I don't need it.
It is definitely some thick fog tonight out on the water. You've got it's a fairly good sized rowboat you've got there, and you're kind of all sitting in the middle. I'm assuming in the back, it's got a couple of boxes in the back of the boat, and in the front of the boat, it's got some sort of like a leather tarp right at the bow that seems to be kind of covering the front of the boat. What are you guys doing? Who's going to row? Who's going to do what?
I'm going to search those boxes.
I'm weak as fudge. Like, I have a strength of 8, so I'm not rowing anything.
Oh, I can.
Yeah.
Nobody wants me to row anything either.
Nobody
Plus,
wants me to row either.
Okay, so I'm the only one rowing. I might not catch the ship in time.
So, Kira, you're going to start rowing. Moose, you're going to search the boxes.
Yep.
And I'm going to watch Moose.
Okay.
I'm going to be all like, let's see what we got with this acquisition.
And Quinea, what are you doing?
I'm going to sit down and watch the rowing and be like,
Oh, Quinea, thanks for the fire. I appreciate it, lass.
yeah.
Much appreciated.
I mean, anytime.
Well, it was a bad plan right from the start because I thought of
I
it.
told you.
Next time, maybe you
you.
should let me do the talking.
I think I should do the planning.
I think so.
Fire would have prevented like 20 minutes of all that.
But we wouldn't have had a giggle with the rest of with the guard, would we?
I mean,
as you can see them kind of moving towards the edge of the docks. There's 4 or 5 of them now that are kind of watching you kind of row out. You're going to touch those boxes. You are going to what, Quinea? Fire.
I want to, yes, I just want to kind of flick a little firebolt at him as we're leaving. Like, go away.
Like kind of a warning shot?
Yes. Not to hit them, just like at their feet.
Okay.
Yeah, well, fly.
Let's roll that.
Okay. 17.
Oh, that definitely hits their feet. And it kind of explodes onto the dock, and you can see them kind of like a couple of them trying to stamp out the fire before, but the dock's quite damp anyways, but they're still stamping out sparks, right? Moose, you open up, you've got kind of like 2 boxes, and they're about like literally maybe like a foot by a foot on either side. There's one on the right, kind of one on the left. Which one would you like to open up?
I'll go ahead and open the left.
On the left?
I'll open the left.
Okay, you open up the left, and inside you can see like just looks like dirt and grub, just like grubs and maggots, like just crawling around into the box. Like, ugh. It's disgusting.
Bait. Open up the one on the right.
Very similar concoction of mixed in there as well too.
Yeah, get them off the boat. Just toss it.
All
Yeah.
right. Well,
You don't want to toss the bait off the boat. The poor fisherman
plan
that needs
on
this
getting
boat
bitten?
later. He'll need that to catch his fish.
Stranger things have happened.
What's
I'm
in
gonna
the
go
front
look
of the
under the
boat?
tarp. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
what's
gonna look
under
under
the
the
tarp?
tarp.
Okay, you pull back the tarp and you see a scraggly looking individual.
Oh, there's somebody here.
He's got one kind of sort of like pointed elf ear, but not quite, and the other ear is missing. And he's got a scruffy little beard on him. Basically, he's just he looks horrible. But he
Who are
kind of
you?
you pull back the tarp and he says, "What are you doing? What are you doing on my boat?"
Who are you?
Well, I'm someone. I know I am. I
Well,
definitely
that-
know I am. I'm definitely someone. I could be anybody.
Okay.
Who are you? What are you doing on
Okay,
my boat?
listen,
I know this is my boat.
someone.
No, I
Hey.
don't know. What are you doing? Who are you? What
It
is
doesn't-
that? And he kind of points to Quinea. You've got a demon on my boat.
Hey, calm down. I'm gonna
Easy,
cast
lad.
friends.
Oh, there's a
Whoa,
demon
bear.
on my boat. There's a demon on
Easy bear.
Oh,
Whoa bear.
he kinda
Easy
reaches
bear.
down,
Whoa bear.
reaches down
Easy
and he's got a
bear.
fishing rod now in his
Whoa
hand.
bear.
And he's
Easy
pointing it
bear.
at all of you from the front.
Quinea, fire.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Wait,
on
wait,
my-
wait, 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 wait.
I'm not gonna
I'm
fire.
gonna-
I'm gonna light my finger and I'm be like, "Hey, calm down, sir.
Ooh,
Sir,
demon
calm
fire,
down. Sit
demon
down
fire.
I'm
before
gonna cast
I make this
friends on
fire."
myself.
And he kind of as soon as you cast a little fire on the end of your finger, he drops to his knees and he has got the fishing rod in his hand, and he's like, dear baby Jesus, please don't send me to hell with this demon.
Now, I tell you what, laddie. Do you like adventure? Do you?
No,
Do you like?
I just like to fish.
Okay, listen. We're gonna go on a bit of a fishing.
I don't
adventure
even
here.
know who I am. I don't even know.
You
who
talk to my
are.
friend Moose here. He's going to fill you in on all the details.
Make a
Sit
perception
down.
check. Make a perception check.
Who, me?
Who's closest to him?
Well, I'm right in front of him because I was like,
Oh yeah. Okay. All right, Konea, make a perception check.
"That's gonna be fun." No, nope.
No.
It's a one.
Hey, can we help her?
Nat one. For a nat one, with a 0. Yeah. No.
Yeah, not happening. Not happening.
How about anybody else?
Moose was checking out the bait. Did you throw the bait overboard, Moose, or did you keep it?
No, I kept it. I
Okay.
kept it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna kind of move towards the guy because I cast friends on myself, which gives me advantage on any charisma checks. I'm gonna be all like, "Listen here, friend. We're here. We can't change that. We're all here. We all just need to work together. We didn't know that you were on here. We were sold this boat. We didn't know it was your boat. But you know what? You can have
Sold
the
my
boat once we're
boat.
done with
Who
it."
would sell my boat?
I don't know. The guy said it was his.
They sold
We
my
bought
boat
it.
to demons. I know they did.
We're not demons, friend. We're not demons.
I'm sorry.
We
I
just need to
stole-
go on a little
I'm sorry I
ride.
stole the booze. I'm sorry I stole the booze.
It's all right. It's all right. You got any of that booze left?
Give me a perception check.
Kira, Quinn, we got to keep him out of the hooch. He's a dwarf.
That's a
You know what'll
17.
happen?
What'd you get, Moose?
17.
A 17. He reeks of alcohol. Like it's pouring off of his skin. You can definitely smell it. Your keen dwarvish sense tells you that it's nothing good. And he's standing up there.
So I'm going to continue to talk to him and try and reassure him and, deceive him any way I can. But at the same time, I'm going to be looking under the tarp for these booze. I'm going to be like, yeah, man. Yeah, we're not demons. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So where were those booze at?
Booze. And you can see he's got there's like a round barrel there that has like a small tap that's been put onto the side. You're assuming that would be the booze. I mean, it isn't marked with like the XXX on it or anything like that. It's just keenly there. And he is kind of bewildered. Let's just do you want to give me a persuasion check, please? Moose?
And I go with deception.
Yeah, whichever way you want to go. You just want
All
to calm him down. So,
all right. So that is a 24.
Oh yeah, he sits down. He sits down there at the end of the boat. He
Now,
kind of
friend,
pulls the tarp over top of him, like halfway over top, and he kind of grabs the keg that was kind of like sitting beside him, the little mini keg, and he's kind of hugging the keg. So he's got a fishing rod in one hand, he's got the keg, and he's got the tarp kind of hanging over him, and he's kind of looking at you. You realize that he has like one eye that might be good. You're not sure.
well, friend, so I tell you what. I give you this shiny silver piece. You give me that keg. And you help Kira row this. How about it, friend?
I like the silver. I don't know who the Kira is.
That's Kira there.
I'm not giving up my booze to no demon crew that just hijacked my ship.
I didn't hijack your ship. I'm telling you.
That's right, because it's not a
somebody
ship. It's a
sold your
boat.
ship.
See, I know you're all liars. Every single one of you are liars.
I would never lie to you.
And he's kind of sitting there with his fishing rod and his keg, and he's just pointing at you. He seems a little bit scared, but you haven't harmed him yet, so he's just kind of sitting back.
I
Don't
would
worry, lad.
never lie to you.
We're not gonna hurt you.
Where are you taking me?
We're just going to meet a boat out in the harbor. Relax. We just need to borrow your boat for a bit. When we're done, we'll take you back. Everything's going to be okay.
This boat's going to have some booze on it.
Aye, and we'll get you some.
You're skinny.
I am. But I'm good at getting you booze. So you just sit there and relax.
Okay, I need you to make a persuasion check. See if you can kind of calm him down a little bit.
That is a 15, and persuasion is wisdom, right?
You
Charisma.
betcha.
So 16 total.
Oof. Yeah. Oh, sorry. 1 second. I got to roll another dice. I forgot he has disadvantage on like everything.
Oh, poor guy.
He's drunk.
He's drunk.
He was just trying to sleep it off in his boat. You guys hijacked it. So he's sitting there. He's kind of calmed down a little bit, and he's kind of like he's trying to pour. He's not letting go of his fishing rod, and that's probably causing him a little bit of a problem as he's trying to pour this keg bit, trying to get some more of whatever could be left in it. It looks like it's mostly empty. It's just kind of a little bit.
You should share, friend. You should share.
Moose, you need to keep
Or you asking or you telling? Dwarf with the demon friends. Mind you, that one there, Rowan, kind of spry. I like that. He's calming down a little bit.
As he looks at me, I'm just gonna keep rowing, and I'm gonna like start singing under my breath, and I'm gonna be like, "A row, row, row your boat gently down the stream."